Guys, and welcome to the Gremlin's Lair. I'm Fana.
And I'm Bobby. And I'm tired.
And me too. I literally had to text Bobby about 15 minutes before we started. And I was like, are you alive? Because we have a hot date because we're recording on a different time and day than we normally do.
Yeah.
And Bobby doesn't like to be awake before noon.
Well,
so I was like,
I like to be up before noon. I just don't like for a myriad of reasons. Yeah, I know. And I will be honest, like I was like half awake when you called me. Like I was kind of
I could tell. You have the voice.
Yeah, I know. So,
you have the I'm going to try to fake it till I make it that I'm awake voice, and it's not very good.
Yeah, well, I mean, now the audience gets to hear a little bit of it. So don't expect what'll happen is
tired.
like I'll phase into my normal self like probably halfway through this. Like so you'll hear like a significant voice change.
And then for people watching, man, we're just gonna be a hot mess today. You can my tell when I'm tired is I have a lazy eyelid that gets a lot more droopy when I'm tired. So like my one eye right now, like my eyes are very narrow to begin with, but like my one eye is like almost shut right now.
Right. So
that's just a genetic thing for my family. But also for audio people, I'm sorry if you hear a drink sound. I am drinking coffee out of this lovely mug one of my patrons got me. I don't know if it's going to be is it actually reading? No, it's a fun shape, and it's like a really pretty green on the inside, and it's embossed, and it says "Let the adventure begin," and it's short and fat. And I love it, and it's heavy duty too.
I'm not gonna apologize because I drink every podcast, so
yeah. But shout out to Mary who gave me a beautiful mug and a Starbucks gift card. But yeah,
your patrons have been nice to you.
Yes. So the reason I've been getting a lot of cute little gifts recently is because I'm leaving that job, and they're goodbye gifts, and it looks like Bobby's about to applaud, but I accepted a new job, and you can applaud now. Yes, so today's episode is all going to be about career changes, because not only did I get a new job, but Bobby also has a new job.
Yes, I did. We both decided that we actually want to do something with our lives, and got careers.
No. So
yeah, you go first.
Yeah. Well, it's just today's going to be a lot of talking about Bobby has an exciting new job in addition to his editing positions that he's had, whereas mine is I'm leaving, like it's I guess more of a not strict. What word am I thinking of? Extreme. It's a lot more of an extreme change, I guess.
Yeah.
So mine comes with a lot of like regret, guilt, excitement, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we can get right into it.
Definitely.
So I have been working part-time in a different state as a children's librarian, and it's an hour each way away from me. And everyone, whenever I say that to them, they'd be like, oh my god, you drive an hour away to go to work, like I guess 2 hours every day. But I don't think people realize how hard it is to find a job in your field after graduation.
I also think people are generally misguided that a lot of, I don't know, like my dad commuted an hour each way for years when he was working for his first company. Like, so
but I guess because it's also part-time, though. The fact that it was part-time and I was driving that much.
But yeah, and then that's where what you just said definitely applies, where people don't really quite understand how tough it is to kind of get a job in your field. Not even because it's like a high skill ceiling or anything. And obviously, it's skillful what you do, but it's just because once positions are filled, they're filled for a long time.
Right. My career, like, the stereotype of librarian is a little old lady.
Yeah.
And, like, that stereotype's not true. Like, it's not 100%, like a lot of stereotypes, it's not 100% misguided.
But
like,
there's a little bit of truth to it.
There is. So, finally, librarianship, which I believe is the proper term, librarianship, is a career that we live on the East Coast. People come to the East Coast and then retire. So it's not only a very hard field to get into because of that.
Yeah.
And people don't seem to realize how educated librarians are. At least in Maryland. In Maryland, you need
this is something I had to learn.
Yeah. For Maryland libraries, or at least the county that I'm in, you need to have at least a bachelor's to even get your foot in the door. So anyway, it was a job that was 100% worth it because, like, not only was it a librarian job, it was a children's librarian job. And we've talked about this before. I ran infant through teen at this small library. And I loved this job, but it wasn't sustainable.
Right.
Not only I had already, my manager had already fought for me to get more hours, but I knew that, like, the hours that I had, which was like 24, 25, was my cap. Like, all of the children's librarians in that county, only 2 of them were full-time at like 13 branches.
Right.
Which is insane. So I have always had an eye on the county that I currently live in Maryland. And they had a new branch that they were building, and I applied for it back in December. And and then I was stuck in the application phase for 2 months.
It was a lot. There was a lot of stress during that period.
It was rough, and my manager knew what I was doing. Because she was I asked her to be my reference because she was my only supervisor in library. I grew up volunteering in libraries, but she was my first, like, real big girl job librarian, like, supervisor.
Sure.
So she had known the entire time.
Right.
So I had a phone screening in January, and then I had an interview at the end of the month, and it was an hour and a half long with 3 people, and then I had homework, and then I didn't hear anything for the longest time. And I did know from a friend that there were, they sent out rejection emails, so I wasn't hearing anything.
Right.
And is that one of those good news no news is good news?
You said that to yourself for so long.
I tried to convince myself that. No, because I knew that they sent rejection.
But it wasn't wrong. Like, it was like the fact that you weren't really hearing much, as annoying as it is, because you're a planner, so not knowing any information is like chopping one of your legs off. Like, that's
and we'll talk about that a little bit later too. But they told me first week of February, because apparently I was the first interview for, it was a full-time children's librarian position. And I didn't hear anything first week of February. So then I contacted them, and they're like, oh, because of all the snowstorms, because it's Snowmageddon has been happening, or had been happening. The Northeast
has been pounded.
Yeah.
With snow. We're finally starting to come out the other end of that.
And because of COVID, they were doing all Zoom interviews. Well, apparently the snow had killed off several of the candidates' Zoom, like, internet connections, so they had to reschedule a bunch of Zoom interviews. And I had given the HR lady the perfect opportunity to tell me no right then and there, because I was like, hey, any updates?
Just checking.
And she, please. And she didn't. She's like, you're still very much in consideration, which made me go, oh, maybe. Ooh, yeah. And so 2 weeks ago as of yesterday, I got a call from the HR lady. And she made me panic, man, because she's like, "Hi, is this blank?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" I'm like, "Sure, let me get a pencil and paper." Thinking like, oh, I need to put some information down. And she's like, "Oh, well, that's not necessary." Which made me panic there, because it's like, why is she calling me? Why? Actually, I think I'm getting a call right now from them.
Oh, you need to step off for a second?
Yeah, I think so.
Right,
Sorry. So, for those of you, I don't know how Bobby's going to edit this, but during this conversation of me getting this job, HR just called me to oh, I didn't even say it. Okay, I did get the job. I think that's where the story stopped. HR called me for orientation Monday, which is like a 2-week orientation. Anyway, so they called me and and she's like, "Okay, you didn't get the job you applied for." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." Meaning, it's not fine. It's not fine.
Yeah, it's obviously not fine.
I'm like, all right, I'm going to take the time to cry after this phone call. And she said, "But we want to offer you the exact same position at a different branch." Which I'm like, holy shiitake mushrooms. Like, oh my God. And she started like listing, she just did it again today. She's like, "Yeah, this person remembers you and this person knows you. And like, do you remember like the director of the library system?" I was like, I remember her, but I don't think she'll remember me." And she's like, "Oh no, she does."
Mm-hmm.
Because I grew up volunteering there in late elementary, middle, and early high school. So the fact that this has been my dream job since I was in elementary school and I wanted to become a librarian, and oh my God, I got my dream job, a full-time children's librarian in a public library system, benefits, I'm gonna get like a teacher's pension, like it's just a dream come true. But with that, if that comes with a lot of different emotions, which I do want to discuss, but I also want Bobby to share his good job news too, because we are making our way in the world, right, babe?
Something like that. I mean, at least you are. I'm figuring it out.
No, Bobby's amazing and wonderful too.
Oh, now you say it for the podcast. Normally you feel under the bus for everything.
Yeah, okay.
So is it my turn officially?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I tend to trip and fall into things a lot.
Okay, give yourself a little bit more credit.
This is exactly but this is what happened. And this is one of those times. Okay, so my back in December, I was sitting on my couch. I am minding my own business. I'm probably watching some stupid YouTube video. And I get a call from my cousin who lets me know that he is not going to be working his position with the National Hockey League this season.
Ooh.
And thinks that I could potentially fill his spot. This was the most unwarranted, surprising phone call. And he's like, "Would you be interested in that? Because I can talk to people for you." And I'm like, yeah, why not? Right? So
Bobby is a massive, massive, massive hockey fan.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've mentioned it on the show before, but in case I haven't, I grew up playing and watching hockey. I grew up around the Philadelphia. I'm still in the Philadelphia area, so you can probably take a guess as to who my allegiance was to back then. So
is that what we're calling it nowadays?
Yes. Well, yeah, because
I know why, but yeah,
because things change. So basically, what the job was, it's basically a tech. But the official title of it is Arena Technical Coordinator, or ATC.
Ooh.
And my job basically is, I'll get into the whole process of getting here, but just to kind of explain what it was that I was getting into was, So I would be only working any Flyers games at the Wells Fargo Center, any Flyers home games, I should say. Um, and I will be representing the NHL inside the arena and handling a lot of the proprietary tech that the league has in order for the games to run smoothly. Anything from helping with replays and getting that sent to wherever the NHL needs, mainly Toronto, where their head office is. Software for like tablets and stuff that each of the teams need. Cameras for the nets that we have for all the viewing angles whenever they have to review something. So I handle all that. And set that all up and make sure that nothing breaks.
Well, but also you also were in interview hell for a while, for like 2 months. You were about in limbo as long as I was.
Yeah, it wasn't even,
which was frustrating too.
It wasn't even like interview hell is like the wrong term, because there really wasn't a formal interview. He reached out to the guy who was gonna hire, and this guy who is my boss doesn't just work the one arena. He works multiple arenas in the Northeast.
Because he's the regional manager.
Yeah, so he's like one of the regional guys. So trying to catch him a lot of the time was difficult. So he called me and he kind of ran me through the gig, and you know, he knows my cousin very well. Apparently my cousin is very good at shaking hands around here. So we he gave like, I guess, a quote unquote phone interview, but just kind of was like, yeah, we'll just send your stuff over and get stuff figured out. I cue the mountains of paperwork that I had to do right after that. So I had to sign off my soul. Basically had to just, understand their rules and stuff and their guidelines and typical paperwork stuff. Nothing terribly special. Then I had to get a uniform that kept getting delayed because of all the snow, because it had to come from, I believe it was Rhode Island. So that took a while. And then again, trying to get all my stuff set up was hard because the guy who needed to help me get this set up had to deal with 30,000 different other things at one time, which I don't blame him for, like, at all.
Right.
Like it became, once I knew that was what the case was, it made sense. But like I said, I got offered this in late December. And I just started working last week, so I should tell you how long this took. Yeah, so that's what I do now. So it's a seasonal / part-time position where I only work whenever the Flyers are at home, at the Wells Fargo Center, and it's been good so far. There's a lot to it, but once you kind of get into the hang of things, it makes sense. A lot of it makes sense, and it's, I really couldn't have asked for, I guess, a better spot for me, knowing everything about me, right? How big of a hockey fan I am, how I'm a nerd and a tech guy, so I guess this was like the perfect combination of the two. So been doing that. I worked last night, which is why I'm like half tired. Yeah, and it's been good. It's been exciting. It's something new, and it's definitely something that isn't like my end. This isn't like my end job by any means, but it's certainly something that I can do for a while to kind of add on to the other stuff that I've already been trying to do, like some of my freelance positions I've taken up, or eventually when I get a full-time job, it'll be a good add-on. I'll get paid pretty well.
You work for the National Hockey League.
It's weird.
Holy crap!
Yeah, I called after I got the phone call from my cousin. I called Morgan, obviously, and I'm like, I might have just got an opportunity to work with the National Hockey League. Your reaction was great. You were just like,
well, that was when you visited me in January.
No, I called you first, and then
did you?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah, I called you first, and you were like, tell me, like, yesterday, like, please. So I explained the whole thing, and it was great. Like I said, I mean, the hell that I was in with all the paperwork and everything else was interesting, and but it made sense. Again, you're dealing with such a big organization, like the background check stuff is of course going to take forever.
Right.
So just like so yeah, I mean, it's weird, like seeing my name under the shield emblem, and is a weird, really weird feeling. you know.
Do you have a name tag? I never asked about this.
I do. I don't have it. Well, I have the. Well, I took a picture with it. I have the credential. I don't have.
Oh, it's like a name. It's not like a plaque. It's like on the lanyard.
Yeah, it's a lanyard because that's what gets me into certain parts of the arena, or most parts of the arena, honestly.
Fancy.
It's interesting. I've already had instances where I walked by players that I'm just like, okay, like because I have to contain myself because I'm supposed to be a representative of the league, you know, so I can't really be, and I'm supposed to be unbiased and everything, so I'm kind of, you know, I have to be professional, like I do, which has been interesting. Well, but I'm a little giddy when I'm working. I'll tell you that much.
And that, I guess, kind of leads into the next point of like, even with new jobs, there's a good. There can be, and I know there is for both of us, some negative emotions too. Like, are you okay talking about, like, because you don't work for the team.
Work for the team. I don't work for the players.
You work for
the league.
The league.
Yeah.
So, like you said, you have to be completely unbiased or impartial.
I have to because I'm handling equipment for both teams. So if I'm actively cheering on one team or the other, it's a problem. So I gotta keep my mouth shut. And you know, I mean, look, like I said, I'm being careful what I say. You can figure out who I would cheer for before I got this position, but it's like I kind of have to put that out the window a lot of time because I have to be an impartial guy. I have to be able to provide service for both teams. And I have no problem doing that. Like, I mean, well, like I was always going to be the neutral guy.
But it's a lifestyle change in a way.
It is. I mean, if anybody on here follows me on social media or even just knows me and talks to me on a semi-regular basis, it's one of the main things that I talked about, like all the time.
Right.
And it's a really interesting lifestyle change, but it's something that I think I'm willing to do. I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity.
Right.
I mean, Jesus, look at my LinkedIn has a National Hockey League job posting.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't go away. Like it's a really weird thing.
You were very impressive, but you try to brush it aside, but I think there's a lot to it of you chirping, as you would call it, on social media or even at the games, like was a big, not to say it defined you or a big part of your personality, but it was a hobby for you. And I know that like working for the NHL is such a major, major thing. It just blows me. I am so proud. I'm like, yeah, my boyfriend. And it's just, and I'm not even a hockey fan.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't want you to sneeze at, you are making a sacrifice.
I am.
You are, because like I had made you a mask with the team. You had a lanyard. I had gotten you a thing with a little keychain with a mascot, and you have to be impartial. And it sucks. It really does. And I know, that you try to like kind of glaze over it, but like, yeah. But as a non-hockey fan, I am willing to take up the jersey or whatever it's called and the hat, and I will become the blank fan for you. I will not know any of the names.
Yeah.
I know Gronk is football, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And I will go to the team. I will go to the games.
Yeah. Okay.
And cheer for you.
No, I appreciate that. You're gonna cheer for the.
And I'll pretend that I don't know who you are.
There was actually when the season started recently, there was a group of fans who dressed up as referees and were cheering on the on ice refs. The video was gorgeous. It was for the memes, but man, it was awesome.
That's really cute.
That was a while ago when the season started, but
it's kind of funny because like I don't think you'll have the ability to like take me backstage or whatever. Like I don't think that's no. But like in the mentality of if you were able to do that, how I would be completely unfazed because I don't know who anyone is.
You'll be I mean, the things that you would, I guess if I were to let you anywhere, it would be someone like the higher up places.
Let's say on the air. We know we absolutely cannot do like
I mean
we know that's not a possibility.
But especially now.
It makes me laugh the whole, like, it's like people who were like, oh yeah, I like met a really nice guy at the supermarket, and the kid's like, well, blank, and he's like, oh, I didn't know who it was.
Yeah. No, I mean, the thing for you would be like, you would have to learn the names, and you also have to learn like what the nicknames of them are, because a lot of them are called different things.
Give me a flashcard sheet. We could do drills.
Oh, I can do that.
The little trading card. This is. Their number is.
I mean, I have a whole box of and binders of legitimate.
What year were they drafted?
What year?
See, I know the lingo. I know the terminology. Yeah. I'm jiggy with it. Like
you're jiggy with it. Yeah.
I'm jiggy with it.
It took a lot just for you to wear a Patriots shirt during the Super Bowl, so.
Yeah, I still.
Although, like I said,
it now functions as a sleep shirt for me.
Yeah, I think we said.
I still have it actually.
I know you do. I'm very aware that you do. I think we said this too, that I've taken you to a hockey game before, a couple actually. And yes. you seem to enjoy the live experience of it.
Oh yeah. I would say hockey in person is the only sport that I have actually been able to follow and enjoy. Yeah. Like, I don't like watching on TV. I can't stand it. But like, I've been to football games, I've been to baseball games, and I just find them very boring, or I don't like football, I just don't understand. Hockey, I actually got invested in, so I would absolutely not, like, you took me to one at the stadium, and then you took me to, I don't know if you took me, we went to a couple of our university's games, which was a lot of fun, too.
Yeah, college hockey's good, too. Like,
and our team was pretty good, wasn't it, for whatever division we were in?
We had a decent team. We weren't winning championships or anything, but with the division we were playing in, we were fine. So it was, and we were also playing against, we went to that game for a couple of reasons. One, because we wanted to, and two, because they were actually playing against my dad's alma mater. So which was funny to see, because I was taking, we were right next to those players, so I was taking pictures of them.
I just dropped my headphone in my coffee.
Nice.
Oh no.
Good work. So for those who are listening on audio, Fana just dropped her one headphone because she can't keep them in her ears.
Okay, but there's like barely any cough. It's like barely covering the bottom of the cup. Fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna stick it back in my ear.
How about you just stop dropping the headphones? I know it's a novel concept for you.
Nope. Hey, novel concept. That's my line.
Yeah. Well, I get to use it on you when you keep doing things like this.
But I want to talk about me again.
Yeah, I know we need to switch. I know my my position is irrelevant and terrible, and you're making such bigger moves than I am. I will say this.
Stop.
I will say this. It is great to go under the guise of, oh, well, I work for the NHL, like, kind of thing. Even though what I do, I'm just a tech. It would be like no different.
No, you work for the NHL.
I know, but I'm a tech.
And he has a uniform. He's sexy.
I got some really nice swag with the NHL stuff. Like, I got a couple polos, some quarter zips. I look good when I'm going to work. Feeling myself with that. Oh, I also got this really big jacket too.
Oh, did you?
Oh my dude. I got this, like, the only, and like,
well, because it's cold there, because it's ice.
I mean, I'm totally yes, there you go.
I do know that much.
I actually got to see, because I'm around a lot of like the guys who work on the ice, like the ice crews and stuff like that, and man, I didn't realize like how tough their job is. It seems like at times, like the things they have to do just to keep the ice as good as it is, so that the players don't get hurt, is actually over the top. Like, I knew the basics of it, but like I'm seeing bits and pieces of like some of the more logistical stuff that they have to do, and it's really interesting to me. But yeah. Anywho, let's switch gears, because I know you have some more stuff to talk about. I know we're also on a time limit, so we gotta try to get everything in.
Unfortunately, but because of my highly official phone call.
Your highly official phone call, as well as you just happen to go on a shopping spree with your mother.
Well, hey, this highly official phone call told me that I wasn't allowed to wear jeans, which is what I've been wearing for the past 9 months at my job. Nice jeans, I usually wear nice jeans and a blouse, and apparently that's not okay. Right. So, anyway, with with me getting this, it's a dream job. That's what it is, a dream job. It's been my dream since I was little, but a lot of that also is I loved my, I'm going to say current job or old job. Let's say old job.
Yeah.
I loved my old job. I loved being there. I love the patrons or the members. Like, people use them interchangeably for library, like, customers.
Sure.
But it's just, I loved my coworkers. I loved the people. Like, me being there for only 9 months, I've gotten so many cute little cards and gifts. Like, there's some people I would see. Like, this one woman who gave me this mug and the gift card, I saw her every Wednesday, like clockwork, every Wednesday around 2 o'clock. And she would come and she would destroy my displays. I used to really resent her because, you know, the whole point of me putting out displays is for people to take books, but she would take, like, all of them, meaning I would have to completely redo the display. So I didn't like her for, like, the first 2 weeks. And then, like, 9 months later, I would be so excited whenever she would come in. It's like, Mary!
Mm-hmm.
So, oh man, she would leave her wallet would be one place, her purse would be another, her jacket was somewhere else, because we had limited browsing, so it was only a couple people in the library at a time, so she would just sprawl out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, this is the first job that I've ever had where I had to, like, legitimately put 2 weeks in. And Bobby's heard this. I just want to talk about, like, regrets and stuff, because it's like, all my other jobs, because I've been working since I was 15, all my other jobs were, oh, I'm going back to school. Or a lot of them were, like, oh, I have school, or I'm in school currently, or, like, I'm going from high school to college, or I'm going back to college, or I was working in college. Like, this is the first job where I made, I guess, the choice to leave, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then also, this is the first job that I loved or liked. The rest were just kind of jobs because they weren't in my field. Yeah, that's what it was. They paid the bills, and some of them I liked more than others, but this job I loved. But when I compare the two, my old job doesn't even hold a candle.
Yeah.
And what was really rough is we found out that at the same time, my manager was also in the, well, okay. My library was very small. There was 4 of us because it was so small.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one lady who's been there for 20 years was retiring at the end of March.
Mm-hmm.
So that left 3 people. And then with me leaving too, being the children's person with summer reading right around the corner, I had a lot of guilt. Yeah. Because I was like, I'm leaving during a very important time. And I actually had to get all of summer reading stuff planned out in, like, detailed notes for the next person before I left.
Right.
But I found out that my manager was also in the application phase at the same time as me, and she accepted her position like 2 days after I accepted mine. So not only I'm so happy for her. She's getting a major promotion. Like, oh my gosh, I am thrilled with, oh my God, yes. But that leaves one person's retiring, I'm leaving, and the manager's leaving, which left one person left at the library. So my parents were actually like, do you feel more guilty about that? I'm like, no, because the manager was leaving too. So it's just like, it's hard though. It's hard, and there's this feeling of dread for the future because, like, I didn't know what my new schedule looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in store for me. Like, my financial situation is going to drastically change.
Right.
I've never, as silly as it is, I've never worked a 40-hour job before.
Yeah.
I've never been salary based. Like, there are so many, oh my God, changes, but they're exciting. But unfortunately, I struggle with seeing them as exciting. I see them as terrifying. Mm-hmm. And actually, the call that interrupted today, I got my schedule for the next 2-week orientation.
You're good now. You're not.
I'm good now. I'm good now. It's 9 to 5, Monday through Friday for the next 2 weeks.
There you go.
And then it's going to change, I'm sure, drastically after that.
Semi, yeah, I would think.
But then I'll know.
Right.
But I don't know. There's
a lot that goes into a new job, and this is the conversations we had yesterday, where it's like it's you just people look at uncertainty in specific opportunities in two ways. They're either excited about it or they are petrified. You are the latter.
Well, I think I'm going between the two. What happens is I'll get excited and then I'll psych myself out and then find something to freak out about.
Yeah, but it's like you kind of undermine yourself in that way. It's I mean, and it's understandable. It's completely a valid emotion range to have for this, right? Like, but I think what you and me have kind of concluded though is that a lot of these things that we're doing, as scary and as weird as they are the best things for us moving forward for a lot of what you and me are trying to do.
Yeah, and like just for our future, like us planning on moving in together and moving in the next stage of our relationship, like both of these jobs are going to exponentially help us in that future. And like it's like now that us both having these jobs completely changes our future. It makes it so much more tangible. And I'm not as scared for our future, I guess.
No, I mean,
scared was never the right word. Like,
sure,
it's attainable. It's more like, okay, we're gonna be able to do this.
Yeah, and I think too, what else it does that I think we overlook sometimes, just because we know what our plan is, kind of for what our next stage is, like in terms of moving in together. But we do have anchors now, like in terms of where we need to be for work and where we need to be around, right? So, I mean, it sounds like you and me aren't really going anywhere. Like we're not moving away from home. We never were interested in that at any point in time. So, but it's interesting that we know basically what cities and towns we're gonna have to be kind of tied to for work.
Yeah, because I now work in the library system that I grew up in and currently live in. Like,
yeah, so you're not gonna be too far from that spot.
Right. Like I know that I can drive an hour each way for work. But now that the library is now 20 minutes from me, I don't particularly want to be driving an hour each way anymore.
I'm going to be having the hour commute once I'm moving in with you, with the driving, which will suck, but I'll deal with it. It'll be okay.
It's going to be like how I was doing it a couple days a week.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, this is a part-time gig, and the only other question that remains for me is if I could also land a full-time position in that city, in Philly, which I could, or I could work from home. I don't know.
That's the thing.
There's a lot of question marks there.
What's so nice about this NHL gig too is that you can still do your freelance editing.
Yeah, that's a big
on
deal.
the side, like that is amazing.
Yeah, because you're basically you follow whatever the flyer schedule is, and then you kind of either work on the days where you're not working. Sorry, I was just looking at a text message really quickly. Okay. Yeah, and you can either like just work in the mornings before you go in, like I've been trying to do, but failing at because I've just been exhausted from just actually I haven't been to work in a long time. So like I did a couple gig stuff here and there, but those were like, like you know what I mean. This is like going to work and having a set schedule with them.
Well, this is consistent.
Right. Yeah. It's as consistent as it's gonna be.
Well, you at least know you have a consistent time each day.
Yes,
like when you work the same times.
Yes, I have to be in roughly well, I know what, like, so the game times are usually like 7 p.m., but there are going to be times, I don't think this season, but there are going to be times where they'll have like a earlier game where I have to be in really early in the morning. They have like a 1 o'clock game or something like that, right? So it's usually like a few hours before game time. I go in and do my thing, and yeah, and like I said, you're kind of following what their schedule is, and most of the time, the ending time seems to be pretty consistent.
Right.
There will probably be some changes to it here and there, depending on certain scheduling things with the arena. But yeah, for the most part, it makes sense. It's not going to kill me. It's work that I know I'm gonna, once I kind of get into the repetition of everything, it's just gonna kind of come naturally to me. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for. Obviously not only the jobs, right? I mean, those are great by themselves, but I think it really has kind of turned that page for us to start thinking about the things that we've always talked about, like, which is exciting. it's interesting because it's going to be weird for me to uh I hate change more than anything. Like I'm such a complacent guy. And it drives her nuts.
Well, I'm nodding because me too. I think
Yeah.
the fact that I am such a planner is because I want to have to plan for the changes. Like, because I don't like it either.
Yeah, I don't even say it's like a planner. It's like I know what I'm comfortable with. And
I was just gonna say I'm a
up.
creature of comfort.
Yeah, no, I am exactly that. So, it's I have not accepted the reality that a lot of this stuff is coming up very soon. As like I'm saying it, obviously, like I know it exists, but it's not going to affect me until I start like living it. You know what I mean? Like it's all just so strange, and so it's all happening at once. So it'll be. I'm excited, but it's gonna be very interesting to see where this kind of leads us.
And I'm excited for it, but like right now, I'm a little bit in a mourning phase. Like,
yeah.
Bobby got me this wonderful little sign for my desk at work, and like I had like yesterday was my last day, and it was really sad. Like I have like this back at home. I had to bring my planner. My manager gave me this little like painted rock that says "Read a book," which is so cute. Like it's such.
And I did get the name tag in like the colors of that library that you worked at.
Well, it helped that they were my favorite colors too.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say there was a kind of a double meaning to it, but which helped.
But it's just it's little bit in mourning, but it's gonna be okay. And like one day, like my manager and one of my coworkers are already talking about like doing a wine tasting in the in like May. Yeah. Like we're already talking about getting together. Like I am absolutely going to contact them when you and I get engaged. Like because they coined the term of Priance for you
so well.
Which is basically you're not like you're talking about marriage, but you're not engaged yet.
I've actually caught myself almost using that term when talking to other people.
Like, I don't know if they made it up, but I can't imagine that it wasn't already a term. But Priance, like that fits so perfectly.
I know. It's like because it's like we've been dating long enough to be under that category too. Like,
yeah, we have actively and that was part of us getting these jobs of being like, okay, we're at our we have the opportunity to be at our next step. When are we going to take them?
That was the checkbox. That was one of the checkboxes, was getting to this point. I still have a lot of stuff to figure out for what I'm doing, but I at least made a really big step. And I now I have money in the bank. So which is going to help in a lot of different situations, But I mean, the future's bright right now. So we should be celebrating that, but there's a lot of work to do at the same time. So it'll be equally as exciting as it is stressful.
Yes, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And I don't know, it's just I think also there's I'm just full of anxiety and fear, man, because I'm like, oh god.
Me too. So it's almost like we were meant for each other.
Just thinking about the future of me working full time, and then also like I will hear in probably a month if I got accepted into grad school. So I'm like, okay, then I'm gonna be doing grad school, and then like I'm gonna be planning a wedding. Like I'm just like, oh my god, our next 2 years are gonna be living hell. They're gonna be good for us and good for our future, but like
work, man.
My sanity is gonna go.
I'm sure our biggest fan, who is on the final stages of planning a wedding,
yes,
I'm sure he will.
Hi, Mark, the obligatory hi, Mark of the podcast.
Nah, Mark's a real one.
Yeah,
I've said before.
That's something else for this job. Like when I had to accept it, I was like, I'm the maid of honor for a wedding. I have several dates that I'm committed to. Yeah, is that okay?
The same thing here, because like that was with me too now, because I think most of the games are kind of just missing some of them, but there are some dates I absolutely can't do. So what I'm trying to do is just trying to take all the March ones.
Yeah.
So that when April and May roll around, that I could be a little bit more flexible with things.
Well, for me, the end of the month, like the 21st of March starts wedding stuff for me. Like, that's when the bridal shower is, and then after that, it just like,
yeah,
like it's gonna be nuts.
I have no really real work in this at the moment, but I don't.
You just gotta show up
I
at.
gotta show up and look pretty. That's basically my job at that point.
You will succeed at that. I'm sure.
Well, thank you, man. You're being overly nice to me today, and I am suspicious.
You know what? I have been a nervous wreck for the past 23 years, and so I feel the need to like. I am proud of you, and I hope you know that.
No, I know you are. I'm. She's not a bad person.
She
likes to tease. She likes to make fun of me here and there, which I'm totally cool with. Obviously, it's just funny whenever she gives me more than one compliment at any given time, because that usually means she wants something or she's just in a weird mood.
Yeah, well, I'm planning for the future, man. Oh,
I know.
Like, also, I was like, okay, I need to order contacts again. I'm wearing contacts right now for the first time in months, and if I had realized how easy it was going to be to order contacts again, it took me 2 minutes, I probably would have done it before now.
I like you with the glasses, though.
My glasses are a wreck, though. They are bent and scratched, and like I've had them for like 3 years. Like, I want new glasses, and also contacts are so much easier with a mask.
Yes, because they fog up your glasses. Like, even like I when I was working a film gig back in September, we were working outside a lot. We had a lot of outside shoots, and I was wearing sunglasses a lot with the mask, and you had to get it just right on the mask for it to not fog up the entire time. It's so annoying. I'm sure the people who actually need to wear glasses have it so much worse than what I'm describing, but I understand to a degree how annoying it is.
And my problem is that I am nearsighted. So what I would do is I would wear my glasses to work and then just leave my glasses on my desk throughout the day, because I could get by without wearing anything, which is making my vision worse.
Yeah.
But and now that I'm going to be in a whole new library system, and I don't know what my like desk situation is, if I even have one, I can't just be leaving them around. Maybe I'll get those the librarian like glasses chains.
We've always talked about you actually getting those at some point in time, just for the memes.
I think that will be a thing in the future. Well, okay, the whole thing is that my friends have always said that my aesthetic is sexy librarian before even like, because I'm very much the skinny jeans with the blouse with the cardigan, like when my hair was long, with the messy bun, with the glasses, and they're like, yeah, that's...
She's the sexy nerd that you would see in movies.
Yeah. I don't know how beautiful I am. I just wait for my makeover. If I take the glasses off, then I'm a whole new person.
Oh, well, God, the worst version of that. Remember, because it came up in my feed the other day, the original live-action Scooby-Doo movie that they did.
Did they do that?
Oh, well, they did it with...
That's why Velma, I don't like rom-coms, because they all do that.
Well, they only did it because one is Velma. What's the other one? What was the other girl in that?
Daphne.
Daphne, thank you. Okay, so, obviously, like, Daphne like wears like the leather shit. She's like the pretty girl type, right? So she like gives Velma a makeover and makes her take the glasses off, wear contacts, wear all leather, and this, that, and the other thing. It was a weird like 15 minutes of it.
15 minutes?
Yeah, it was like a section of it where she was just like, and then she realizes she wants to go back to how she normally was, and this. It was like a weird little subplot that they had in there.
It's just so. The only movie that I've been like, yes, is The Princess Diaries. When she gets that whole like transformation.
Sure. I mean that storyline's been done before. It's just I deleted scene from that subplot came up on my YouTube feed the other day. And I was like, I forgot this was a thing. I completely forgot this was a thing in that movie.
Yeah. Also, not a thing because it just happened. I'm getting spam calls from Florida. I've gotten 4 of them, and it's only 2 p.m. 4 of them today from Florida. Usually they're all over, but like,
the latest
Florida is like at it today for me.
The latest one I've been getting is that they're calling me from a number that is extremely similar to what my number is.
Oh.
Which I've heard about before. I'm like, I'm trying to like, it worked the first time when because I was just curious as to why that was calling me. I knew what I was getting into, but I answered and hung up within 5 seconds as I realized what it was. But it's funny. It's like, why is that a thing? Like, why is that a thing that they get? Wow, it's interesting. Because, I mean, they still don't get anybody to stay on the phone. So I don't know how these places make money, man. It doesn't make any sense, these scam artists. Anyway.
These scammers, man.
These scammers. Also, shout out to the people who have been binging, like, Kit Boga on YouTube and stuff like that lately, who have been, they waste scammers' time so that they don't actually go and hurt people. So, while we're on the quick topic of scammers, shout out to Kit Boga.
Also, life update. I did purchase the tablet. It's massive.
Yeah, look at this gorgeous thing. You probably can't even see half of it because of the way we crop the camera, but
oh yeah, I keep forgetting that we do that.
So wait, what's the model? We can either put it in the description or just.
It is a XP Pen Innovator 16.
Yeah, I mean it's a tablet drawing pad, like it has its own screen and everything.
But it's a monitor. But Bobby was like, "Oh, it's gonna be so easy to set up."
It should.
2 hours later.
Hold on. It definitely should have been though. The things we ran into should not have happened.
Yes.
Don't really know why.
Well, the problem is I have a laptop and then a monitor, and then I wanted to add this one as a third monitor. So we set it up as a tablet and the monitor completely fine. But then I wanted OBS to record on it because it's the drawing tablet and I wanted to like start making speed paints again.
Sure.
And it was like, no. Don't wanna. And I never would have. No, shout out to Bobby because I absolutely would not have been able to set it up. And I felt awful because it gave me a sense of satisfaction that it took you a lot of trial and error too. Because I'm like, okay, so I'm not stupid. Like I never would have been able to do it.
It still would have been quicker if I was actually there. But,
well, yes, but then
because I would have known what broke.
My original other monitor was like, well, I don't want to play nice with the new one anymore.
You also say that this. Well, we also we were asking for a lot because that second monitor you have is really old. It's 4x3.
Yes.
It's a square monitor from like
beautiful.
the early 2000s. So like,
yes,
yeah. So
it was free to me, so I'm not making fun of it.
I know. I mean, look, it does work for what you want, but the problem is like you're trying to use it. No, look, it works. So who cares?
Stop trying to be nice. You hate this monitor.
Oh, I do. Well, I couldn't handle it, but if it works for you, I mean, I can't convince you not to. You got it working the right way, but it needs an adapter. And then that needed another adapter to play nice with your tablet. So there was just a lot of adapters, and then even then, we had to kind of go into Windows and tell it what it actually was because it like thought it was an HD monitor for a second. It's like, no, you're not. Nope, no.
Well, now
you're SD.
And now I've been so stressed with like scrambling to get like everything together for my job so that I could leave it.
Yeah.
Like I haven't even had a chance to really play with it, and it's been sitting here for like a week and a half. I have not had the chance to mess with it, and it makes me sad. And now that like my desk needs to be completely and my room reflects my mental state, and when I clean my room, I feel better. My desk is a wreck right now, and it drives me nuts, but I haven't had a chance to sit down and dedicate to it because I was also bringing stuff home from my desk at work. So I have a lot of shit everywhere, and it makes me anxious. And I'm just looking at it right now, and it just makes me want to cry.
Man,
but
you would hate my room state right now. I got it even worse.
Well, you have time to clean it before I come visit you.
I do. You're here next weekend, so.
Yes.
Huh.
So yeah. But that's all I have to say on the job front. Excited but anxious. That's my state of being.
Yeah. But I think we have one more update. That we probably should talk about briefly. Before we head away.
So, with me starting this new job and all the craziness in that, looking at the next couple weeks, like I have my 2-week schedule now. I think we're good for one more episode, perhaps, but we might be going on a little hiatus for a little bit as I get reacclimated to this drastic life change for me. But we'll update on socials if we do end up going on hiatus. Because originally we were, after this episode, going to take a couple weeks break, but after getting the schedule to, like, during the middle of recording this, I'm thinking that we probably can do at least one more.
Yeah, and this might be a thing where we'll figure it out faster than we think, but I think we just need to kind of ground ourselves a little bit with a lot of the life changes that are happening at the moment.
Because a lot of them are happening.
Yeah, and it's not like this is a hard show to do. It's just it's one less thing we don't have to worry about. So for the upload schedule, that means you'll get this is our March 15th episode. So you'll get this one, and then you'll get April 1st. And then it might even just be 1 or 2 episodes. Like, it might not be that much, but if you don't hear anything throughout April, that's why. Check our socials. We'll update everybody on when that's going, and we're back in the lab, kind of cooking again. So just a little bit of a break, just to kind of give ourselves a little bit of room to breathe while we're trying to get ourselves figured out here, because we got a lot going on at one time.
We have big kid jobs now.
Well, yeah. I mean, we got stuff to get figured out.
We had baby big kid jobs, but now it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like we're doing our thing. So forgive us, we're sorry, but we need to do this for ourselves. So in the meantime, if we could do a little self-promotion, I guess. I know Fana has at least one video in the works, right?
I have 2 doll videos in the works. I have a Disney animator doll, which I've never done before, and I'm loving how she turned out. And then I am doing a mermaid collab with some Instagram and YouTube doll artists, which should be out in May because it's mermaid.
Yeah.
And then I am 22 subscribers away from 2,000 on Fantasy Finder, which is a small amount, but like a lot to a small creator. So I'm pretty excited. I don't think I'm going to do anything special for it, but like a giveaway or anything. I don't think that's happening, but I'm oh.
I'm excited.
And then
I'm excited to see that milestone happen. I'm gonna have to pull up your social blade and just watch the real time counter.
Oh yeah, okay.
But
yeah, that's what's coming up on my end.
Yeah, and then I've been streaming a lot, and I'm trying to fit that in with work, which has been hard.
Everyone's been waking up.
No, I'm not. I'm tired. Like, just because I've not worked for so long now that I have a job. I'm just getting exhausted from the stupidest things. So I try to keep putting out a schedule, but I keep failing on it. But I'm gonna get better at it eventually. I just gotta get myself grounded.
That counts.
Yeah, I stream on YouTube, so my channel's always been in the description. So if you want to go there and subscribe if you want to, I'll be streaming editing mainly. That's mainly what I do. Is a lot of projects I'm not NDA'd on, so I can just edit on stream for however long. And it's cool. We had a thing a few weeks ago where I was testing out a beta feature for Adobe Premiere with speech to text, which is basically like creating subtitles and transcripts and stuff like that. And it was fun because I had people in there who were genuinely curious and interested, who weren't like at other editors. Like, so it was really good, like collaborative fun. And then I game every once in a while because I focus a lot of my content around the Call of Duty franchise. So, you know, come hang out, come say hi, come do whatever. Don't threaten to hack me like this other guy did. Yeah, I see the smoke screen that just happened on Fana's end of things. So that was a massive puff of smoke.
I'm packing up and blowing out my candle.
Yeah, she's got to get right up after this. But yeah, that's where I'll be at. And then follow both of our socials, at least my Twitter and Fana's Insta, because that's where we're both extremely active.
I thought you were gonna say for our socials, especially mine.
Yeah, no. My Twitter is where I'm mostly active on things, and Fana's really active on Instagram. So if you want to go follow us there, their links have always been in the description for that. So that's what we'll be doing while you're missing us on our podcast. And we'll be back soon. We just need a few weeks to chill.
I'll come back in like tears, like mascara running down, like
this happened.
But thanks, you guys. Blah, blah, blah.
Try again.
Okay, we did so well in the intro.
We did.
Thank you guys so much for listening, and we hope you have a great day.